All right. Viewers, we thank you so much and good afternoon to you all once again. Here is Beulah Multimedia GH in the Upper East Region, Zibla, Bawku, West District, along Bawku Road. We thank you so much, and we are in our daddy, one of our daddy, who we know, and also a lovely to all of us, Honorable Bishop Arongo. We are in his house.
Arongo.
Okay, Arongo.
Okay.
A-R. Okay.
The Frafras call it Arongo.
Okay. So we are in Daddy's house
Arongo.
for an interview concerning about the conflict and then the escalation of the things that has been happening in Bawku. So we urge you to subscribe and also share for us. Thank you so much, and let's quickly move to Daddy. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, good.
I hope you are doing good.
By His grace.
Today is Sunday and I can see you looking very beautiful.
We have just come from church worship.
Amen.
Yes.
We thank God.
Yeah.
Daddy, we are here to ask you a little question.
Okay.
And your little knowledge about the issues that have been happening in Bawku, about the Bawku conflict.
Yes.
I think so far the Kusansis is claiming the ownership of Bawku, and then Mampusi is also claiming the ownership of Bawku.
Yes.
I know you might have been young in the history of Kosak.
Yes.
But at least once we are seeing a green hair, you might have known something better than us. So we want to find out any little knowledge you have about the conflict in Bawku. How do the Kusase settle there, and how do the Mampusi also settle?
Well, I won't be able to tell you how the settlement took place, but I know that Bawku is a Kusase land.
Okay.
It's a Kusase land.
Okay.
And so, talking about settlement, the Kusases must have been there earlier on. But in those years, many years ago, that the Kusases were there, there were also other tribes, such as the Mampusis. We have the Moses. We have the Busasis. They are all there. But the land is Kusase land. And the Kusases are the majority in the place. And so if you have your land and you build your house, you have to be the landlord. Do you allow?
Yes.
You wouldn't allow somebody to come and be your landlord.
Of course.
And that is why it is a Kusase land, and a Kusase must be the head. This is not politics. It's just the rule. It's clear that if you build your house, you own the house. So if the land is yours, and the Kusases are there, right from Bawku up to Zonguiri, it's Kusase land. And the Kusases are the majority. They own the land, and so there's no argument about that. But when you begin, you have to begin with education. Why the Mampusis have the upper hand? It is because most of them went to school earlier than the Kusasis did. And so the time that we were in school, the Mampusis were on top. The Binaba Primary School was opened by a Mampusi man called Manuguma. He is my teacher. He took me to primary school. I know him. And unfortunately, he's no more.
And so,
yes. And so they were the first to go to school. And so they came to teach. And so we have what we call NET, eye-opening. Their eyes were more opened than the eyes of the Kusases. And that's why they became superior in chieftaincy, in authority. The time I was in school in 51, they were on top. As I said, Dahman Guma was our teacher. He was the head teacher, everything. You see, so the Mampusis came you know, even we used to go to Nalergo for judgment in serious cases. The Nayiri was the boss in those years. And when we were growing up, we heard of Nayiri, and he was the boss. So authority, I don't know how the government or the authority went there, but it is because of education, I should think. Because the chiefs will say niate.
Waniate.
Or niate.
Anitie.
Anitie. The Kosasas will say nuhniate.
Yes,
Their nini were niema.
Okay.
More than the Kosase people. Our eyes were blind. And their eyes were more open. You see? So they had authority. And Bawku was the center. So when some sort of government came, it centered in Bawku. And so they were ruling us, so to speak. You know, and that's why the Mampusis had authority in those years. You know, education was there. They were the first to go to school. And so they could say that they were better than the Kosasis.
So let me come in here.
Yes.
Were they ruling as a tribal chiefs, or they were ruling as the Mampusi chiefs? And who gave them that authority?
Well, as I say, authority was centered there. And they were ruling. And even in those days, the question of tribe was not so much. You know, so the Kosasis didn't bother. And so they were ruling. And they were in turn installing village chiefs like Binaba, Tanga, Zebila, and other areas. They had the authority.
So it was the Mampusis that was installing the chiefs by then?
Yes, in those years. Then, as time went on, we grew. And the Kosasis also started going to school. Like Asumda and others. From Kusinaba here. And so the Kosasis also had Niete.
Their eye began to open.
Yes. And we got to know that the authority should be ours.
But not them.
But not anybody. And so this chieftaincy thing is not today. It started long ago. And even it went to court. And as far as I know, the Supreme Court gave authority to the Kosasis. And said the Kosase chief in Bawku the chief in Bawku should be Kosase and should be recognized as such. And so Bawku Naba is recognized. And even they know, the Mampusis know that legally the Bawku Naba is the chief. But I don't know why it is hard for them to accept this simple ruling. And I also do not understand why the vice president, who is a Mampusi and who is a lawyer, knows this and is not advising his people to stop all these things, this chieftaincy issue, and then settle in Bawku. I don't know why. So, as far as I'm concerned, I think I have to blame the government for not being serious about settling the case in Bawku. You know, I don't know why. So the land is majority of, if you go and take census in Bawku, how many are the Mampusis? And how can they rule the majority? The minority to rule the majority. This was the colonial time. We are no more a colonial country. Kwame Nkrumah freed all of us when we had independence. So the Kosases became independent. And if you are independent, you rule your land. That's why the Bawku is a Kosase land. A majority of the people are Kosases. And so the authority must rest in Kosase hands.
Can I ask something there?
Yeah.
Where did Kusasa land started and where do it end? Which
It doesn't end.
Okay.
It started as it is.
Okay.
Well, you know, I'm young.
Okay.
I cannot tell you when the Kusasa land started.
Oh, I mean where it started. I mean when we are talking about the boundary of Kusasa.
Oh, you are talking of the boundary.
Yes, the boundary of Kusasa.
Well, if you are talking from Bolga,
okay,
it is from the Red River, the Volta.
Okay.
Coming back this way.
Okay.
Up to Garu area.
Is it starting at the Pilungu Junction?
No, it doesn't cross.
Sakot Junction.
It doesn't cross.
Okay.
It doesn't cross the river.
The river, okay. So the river is the boundary.
Yes.
Okay.
Kusasa land coming this way.
Okay.
Coming back to Tili.
Okay.
Stretching to Zonguiri.
Okay.
And going back that way to
okay,
the eastern corner.
Okay.
All that is Kusasa.
Is Kologungu part of Kusasa land?
Is it not in Kusasa area?
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
I mean, I'm telling you the boundary.
Okay.
The geography. Eastward.
Okay.
Northward, southward, the whole area.
Okay.
From the river there. Going to Zonguiri River.
Okay.
You give Mamprusis across the river there.
Okay.
And this way is Kusasa land.
Okay.
So it's not a problem.
Okay. Union rule or the governor called Lord Histowell, he gave that power to them or it was a veto power. Okay.
What I'm saying is that I'm not going back to that history.
Okay.
Because I don't know the beginning.
Okay.
And if I'm frank, it's better.
Yes. Okay.
You know, when we grew up,
okay,
the time I was growing in the 50s,
okay,
when I went to school in 51,
okay,
all right, that time, the Mamprusis were on top.
Okay.
They were the chiefs,
okay,
and they were installing the Kusasa area.
Okay.
That's what I know.
Okay.
Then, as we grew, and we became independent, the Kusasis said they need their land, okay, they need their power. So, the first Kusasi chief was Abu Raga and others.
Okay.
So the land, the Kusasi said they want their land. It is a Kusasi land, and Kusasi must be the head. Okay. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Well, what advice do you have for our dear Mamprusis, both Mamprusis and Kusas? What advice do you have for them currently? Because a lot of women have been killing, children have been killing. About 2 weeks ago, they killed 4 years boy. That the mother is Mamprusi and the father is Kusasi, and they murdered the child.
Who murdered the child?
Well, I wouldn't be able to tell you whether it was the Mamprusi or it was the Kusasi, but they murdered the 4-year child. I want to quickly ask you.
Which part of it? Of Bawku?
Yes, that is. That is near the Presbyterian Hospital site.
That's Mamprusi area.
Good. So I want to know, what advice do you have for them murdering people all around? Why wouldn't they go back to court? But killing people should be the solution, or going back to court should be the solution? Can you understand?
The court has already settled it. It is for the government to tell them the truth. Sit down and don't cause trouble.
Okay.
The case has been settled, and the government is aware that the case has been settled, and documents are there. Okay. So what is the use of going to court again? Okay. It is the fault of the government. I'll blame the government. Okay. The government doesn't want peace. Okay. The government is fully aware. The vice president was even what do you call them? The legal aid to the Mamprusis when it went to court. So he's fully aware that the court has settled it. Okay. And he is the vice president. He should seek the peace of the country. Okay. And he is aware. He is not stupid. Okay. So that's all. We don't need to go to court. Okay. We need the government to stand up and say, look, sit down. Okay. And stop doing these things. It's not necessary. Okay. That's all. Okay. If I were the government, I wouldn't say it because I'm a Kusasi. Okay. But I will follow the legal laws and the peace of the country and say, look, this has been settled. And Dr Bawumia is aware. Okay. He is fully aware that the court has settled it.
Okay.
If he thinks that I'm telling lies, he should come and we'll talk.
Okay.
Yes.
Wouldn't you think they are only deceiving themselves, but they can never be chief today, neither tomorrow?
They know it.
Okay.
Nobody wants to tell them that.
Okay.
How can they, even if you take simple rules,
Okay.
can the minority rule the majority?
No.
If you go to Bawku, how many are the Mampusis and how many are the Kosasis?
Okay.
I mean, it's simple.
Okay.
Besides that, the whole area is Kosasi land, it's not Mampusi land.
Okay.
How many Mampusis are in Bawku? Okay. Even if there are 1,000, how many Kosasis are there? There will be more than 1,000.
Yes, of course.
So who should tell them to stop all these things? It's not necessary. So do they want to rule the majority? This time, I'm telling you that the time that they were on top, the Kusasis Niati was not there.
Okay. The eyes were not open.
The eyes were not open.
They were almost blind.
We were blind.
Okay.
Because even our parents didn't want us to go to school. I'm telling you that the day they enrolled me in primary school, my mother didn't eat. Okay. She wept the whole day.
Wow.
Because she thought they were going to kill me.
Oh, okay.
And I'm the only son.
Wow.
You know.
Very
so
amazing.
yeah. So the eye opening was not there.
So should I say because of the educational background that they took opportunity
exactly
to do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You know, and they did that because Mampusi land, Tamale, and all those things. Mampusi land is Nalerwe.
Okay.
So they were, and then they were moving there to settle in Bawku.
Okay.
So they influenced the area. And Kusasis in those days were not as we are today. You know. So the background is necessary.
Okay.
Now they ruled all of us, and now we say it is enough is enough.
Yes.
You cannot be the majority, the minority, and you want to rule the majority. Okay. That's all. Land, the land is mine. Oh. I built my house, and you want to rule my house. You want to be the landlord. Okay. That's the question.
Okay. That means the Kushase have their house, and they want to be the landlord of
exactly.
The house.
That's how I see it.
Okay. Okay. Didn't you see that Nairi should be aware of the history, and then he should be able to advise his people? Or do you think he should be
able to advise them? Can we tell?
Okay.
We cannot tell.
Okay.
They have been going there.
Okay.
Maybe he has advised them. Okay. And they won't take. Or maybe he is rather pushing them. Okay. Nobody can tell. Okay. And I'm saying that the vice president today he's a lawyer. Okay. Is he not?
Yes.
Yes, and he's aware.
Yes.
He's aware that the court has also ruled and given power to the Kusasis. Okay. And he's keeping quiet. Okay. And he's the vice president of the country. Okay.
And then his father was even a witness to the Mampusis.
Even he himself. Okay. He was a lawyer to them.
Okay.
You know, he's fully aware of what happened. Okay. And he's fully aware of the ruling of the court. Okay. So I blame the government. Okay. The government should tell them, sit down and let peace rule be in Bawku. Okay. Because they are aware. The vice president was hired by the Mampusis in Bawku. Okay. If he thinks that I'm telling lies, the records are there. Okay. He should challenge me. Okay. You know, as a vice president, he should seek the peace of the area. Okay. Yes. And they are not doing it, they are keeping quiet. And they know that the court has settled it some years ago. And still, and I'm sure they are doing this, the Mampusis in Bawku are doing this because of the vice president. Okay. Because he is there as vice president, they think they can use him. Okay. Yes. That could be the reason why they are doing that.
What is your main or your last advice or your last talk to them?
My last talk is that they should seek peace. Okay. And we should be honest to ourselves and face facts. That's all. If you seek peace and you face facts, or you face facts and you seek peace, that's all.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Viewers, I like that. I think I like that. Wow. Yeah. My daddy is still strong enough to be a man. Many people think by this time he would have been weak, but as I'm sitting with him, I can see that he's still strong. Very, very strong. And I think he can even hold me, and then I can't even I can't even take out my hand. I can see how strong he is. Well, I think you heard his voice, you saw his face, you saw the advice and everything. He said, let us face the facts. The documents are there. Why wouldn't they understand and go with the documents, and everything will be okay? We thank you so much for listening, and we thank you so much for viewing. This is Beulah Multimedia GH, the Upper East Region, Zibla, West District, Lamboya. Well, I would have said we thank you and we quit it here, but I will still go back to Daddy. I think it would have been the last thing, but I want to ask Daddy. There was a time they said it was a Kusasi traditional area.
Yes.
But it was not Bawku traditional area, a traditional council. So I want to quickly go back to Daddy and ask and see whether is it true that it was a Kusasi traditional council? Because today we have Bawku traditional council. We don't have Kusasi traditional council. So let me quickly move back to Daddy. Subscribe for us. Daddy,
yes.
Like I asked, was it that it was Bawku traditional council, or it was Kusago traditional council and they changed it to Bawku traditional council?
It was Kusasi traditional council.
Okay.
But because there came a time when the councils are not as they are today. It was only the district council in Bawku for the Kusasi area. And so the district was necessary to be added there. But now we have Zebla district, we have Bawku district, we have Garu district, and all these things. So there's no need to say Bawku traditional council, because it is no more the council for the whole Bawku area. That's the whole thing.
So to you, your option, should you say it should return back to Kusasi traditional council, or it should remain in the Bawku traditional council?
No, it should be the various district councils. How you call it is not a problem. You can call it Zebla, like we call it Zebla district council. Yes. Because now we are divided. Zebla is a district. Bawku is a district. Garu is a district, and so on. Yeah. But in those days, it was only Bawku. You know. And so, and then when you refer to Bawku Traditional Council, it covered the Kusasis, the Kusasi traditional area. You see it? Because Bawku was not divided into several languages.
Alain Asunda was arrested because of the Bawku chieftaincy matter, and then they also blamed Ronis for TNDC law because he was the main person who was being able to, squeeze their hand and took out the chieftaincy for Kusasis. How fact or how sure are you there?
Rollins?
Yes.
Rollins came just recently. The time Asunda was there, Rollins was not there. Rollins was not there. Asunda's time, it came to CPP time. Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah's time, Rollins was not there. So I don't know why they should blame Rollins for anything.
All right. Thank you so much, and God bless you once again. My name is Reverend Dr. Samson. Thank you for subscribing and also view for us. God bless you. Up next program is a Kusha.